All right, all right, all right. Welcome to today's episode of Jamba.
Damn, but so sorry. I'm so sorry. Isn't this a great way to start our ADHD episode? Oh, jeez.
Yeah, because for the next two episodes are undiagnosed chronic illness and undiagnosed neurodivergence in a neurotypical world, and you're gonna learn how they interact with each other because there's a lot that either one can cause in the other. So we are gonna get into it. I know Madam Red has more actual diagnoses because she's like an actual adult who has insurance.
Actually, I wasn't for almost a year. I am now, though. I am now.
So
Thank God for a
me,
new God job.
since I got off insurance with my parents, I only had insurance one time. And then I didn't know I still had that insurance. I actually had gotten state insurance because I had a cyst in my like chin, jaw, this area. It was an ingrown hair that then like turned into a crazy cyst. It like filled my whole shit up, maybe looked like a Bob's Burgers character. It was wild. I'm not even, it was literally just straight neck, just straight. It like filled up with so much fluid. It was crazy. So I went to the hospital and they were like, "Do you have insurance?" And I was like, "No." And they were like, "Well, like, do you want insurance?" And I was like, "Sure, yeah, like, absolutely." And they were like, "All right, well, if you fill this out and do your shit, like, you'll get it, right?" So I did. So I was using it for like a little bit, but they were trying because I had went the second time it happened. I then went to St. Luke's because it was closer, and they tried sending me to a dermatologist and a plastic surgeon specialist like an hour away, and that was like their closest one. So I never was able to make it to it. But I forgot I had that insurance. And then when I got a job that also had insurance, I got that insurance. And then I went to go get something done, a checkup done. I think it was for, I don't remember what it was for. Actually, that might have been done the second time when I went then for this to be drained. They were like, "Oh, which insurance do you want to use?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And they were like, "Well, you still have state insurance, which would cover the cost of this, or this insurance that you pay for your job where you'd have to pay a copay." And I was just like,
State
I,
insurance.
I was like, "I pay like hundreds of dollars for that insurance. What do you mean a copay versus state insurance?" I was like, "Yeah, definitely." She was like, "We're going to use the state insurance because that expires at the end of this month." And I was like, "Wait, so you mean I've had that for this entire year and then like didn't even know?" So like, didn't even contact me to let me know, like, "Hey, by the way, you still got this insurance. Like, do you want to use it? Like, or something?" Like, so
That's crazy.
the only thing that I've ever been officially able to actually get diagnosed was IBS when I was younger. Because I've always had stomach issues, which then also could tie into the fact that I'm neurodivergent because a lot of neurodivergent people get diagnosed with stomach issues because of the dysregulated nervous systems. So, all growing up, I've had so many like professionals and teachers and like all kinds of people around me be like, "Have you ever been tested for like ADHD and like autism and stuff?" And I'm just like, I mean, my parents swear that I was, but that was in the 90s. That was before it became as in depth of testing and as much information as they have now. So I couldn't tell you. And the teachers were like, "I think you should look into that." So when I get insurance again, that's something I'd love to look into. Like, I'd love to just get a checkup because I wish I felt healthy.
I fucking feel you. I fucking feel you.
I know you've got some diagnoses that are like pretty life altering when you get them. They're not like some light child's play shit.
Right.
I know.
Lord.
I think the Crohn's disease was what that was probably one of like the bigger incidents, right?
That, yeah. So like in 2015, 2016, I like blew up like a balloon. Like, I mean, I went from 170 pounds because that's when I met Sean. I don't know if I could say his name, but I'm so sorry. Well, anyway, that's when I was with that guy, and I blew up like a motherfucker. Like, so I went from like 170 to 260 pounds. So I gained 90 pounds, and I couldn't understand why I like couldn't lose any weight. I was just like getting upset and shit. I was like, why can't I lose this weight? And I would go
Because
to
you
the
weren't even
gym.
like eating crazy. Like you used to love eating salads and like like when
I
you think
mean,
of that
wait,
food,
hold
like
on
that's
though,
the
because a bitch could eat though. A
well,
bitch
yeah,
could eat.
no, of course. I mean, like, of course, but like, I also know that you used to be like, if there was options for you to get something healthy, we'd go to lunch all the time, like plenty of times.
Right,
If it
right,
was a
right,
place
right.
that had you something like something grilled or something salad or like something like that was like light for you, you usually went with that. Yeah, of course, we'd go places like the buffet and get like a bunch of unhealthy shit too, but we weren't eating that every day.
Right. Right.
So that's why I remember, and it was like there was like almost like nothing that you would, and you were like active too.
Right, right. I was trying to like lose weight. I was trying to, and I was strong as shit because I was trying to like work out. I was like trying to figure my shit out. But so I was dating another guy after Sean. He's Voldemort. So he who must not be named on national television.
Crazy.
Um, but anyway, I was dating him and we went on vacation to Atlantic City, and I was like constipated. I had a mash bowl from KFC, and for a little bit, corn was fucking my stomach up. Like I was like, oh my God, corn is just ruining me. I'm like, what's going on? And like popcorn was messing me up a little bit. I was feeling bloated after eating popcorn. So I was like, what's happening? And I had a KFC bowl and I was like, no corn, please. And they had a little bit of corn in it. And I thought I picked most of it out, but I guess I ate one corn kernel because I got so messed up from that. It hurt so bad that when we got to Atlantic City, I couldn't sit down. We went to like casinos. We were like at the casinos, like at the slot machines, and I couldn't sit down on the chair for the slot machine. And like I looked so white, like I looked horrible. Like, so Voldemort was like, listen, let's go to the hospital because you look like you're gonna die now. So then we went to the hospital, and then the hospital was like, confirmed, if you did not get this situated by next week, you would have been unalive, but I'd be no longer of this plane or realm if I waited any longer. So they, in Atlantic City, they diagnosed
Imagine
me with
being
Crohn's
told that
disease.
though. Like, imagine really like you walk into a hospital, you're like, I don't feel good, and they're like, well, I'm glad you came because if not, you'd be gone.
And then
Let's get you in
imagine
there.
that while you're on vacation in a state that you don't live in. So then you're like, hey, so I actually need to actually be discharged because I need to go home now
Right,
because I can't, I, 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 I can't do this. Like, I can't do this in this hospital. And he was like, well, then you're going to have to sign against medical advice because if you literally leave, we will not be responsible if you die. And I'm like,
right.
I don't give a fuck. Like, I will sign that and I'll go directly to Pocono Medical Center. That's when it was still Pocono Medical Center. So I was like, I'm going to go there. So I ended up going there, and they said the same thing, and they gave me drain bags. They put drain bags and they were all filled with pus and fluid and all this stuff. And 9 days I was in the hospital. They gave me drain bags and that was it. They sent my bitch ass home. 2 days later, I'm like throwing up. I have a fever. I feel horrible. I'm like, what is going on? I go back into the hospital. They're like, we're going to give you a laparoscopic surgery. Sign this waiver though. So just in case like we see anything on the cameras in the little laparoscopic surgery, it's a minor procedure. Just sign the waiver. If we have to go in deeper, we'll go in deeper, but most likely we won't. It's just a small surgery. So I was like, okay, whatever. So I go under, and then I come out, and Voldemort is standing over me. And I'm like coming to, and I don't know what's going on. And I'm seeing drain bags all over me. And I'm thinking, what kind of minor procedure requires drain bags and pipes and
And all these
everything all
tubes and
over my
shit,
body and
right? Like,
tubes? tubes all over my fucking body. Like, what is happening? And then Voldemort yells over my body, yo, they took 3 feet of your intestines. So I was like, I'm still not comprehending what he's saying, because in
No,
my
you just came
mind,
out of surgery.
ain't no fucking way. You guys just told me you were putting little cameras, 2 little incisions and something in my belly button. You said it was small. What are you saying, that I have 3 feet of intestines? And second of all, isn't that like a HIPAA violation? Because why the fuck he knew? Like, how he knew before me? How did he knew? How did he know? How did he know? How did he know before you had the chance to discuss it with me, that you took 3 feet of my intestines, and that's why? And then, like, the worst part is I'm gonna just tell a side story. Sorry, this has nothing to do with undiagnosed and diagnosed things. But so when I was in the hospital after the surgery, they took off my underwear. So I didn't have underwear on. So like for the first 3 days, I didn't have underwear on. And I was just like, finally, I was just like, I think it's been like enough time. Like, is it okay if I put underwear on? And they were like, oh, we thought you didn't want to wear underwear. Like, we would prefer that you did, but we thought that you didn't want to. And I was like, I absolutely want to. Please give me
Please,
underwear. Like,
immediately, actually, I didn't even want to wake up without it.
oh my God. And then another time, really quick, I'm so sorry, a really funny story is, while I was in the hospital diagnosed with Crohn's disease, my friends came to like talk to me, and so it was all of my coworkers that had like come to see me, because at that time I was working, and all my coworkers were like, holy shit, you almost died on us, like it's crazy. So they all came to see me. And like right after they left, I like went to fart, and I was like, okay, I have to fart, like I'm just gonna fart, nobody's in the room, I'm just gonna fart. And then I shit my pants. But it was the first time I did a bowel movement after having a surgery, after having the
Which must
surgery.
have felt crazy too.
It was absolutely insane, because I shardy to the party. Like, I was shardy to the party 100%. So like I started crying. Like, I don't know why, but I was just very overwhelmed. It was a lot. I felt like dirty. I felt like I just shit myself. Like, I'm a grown ass woman. I just trusted a fart. Not only did I trust a fart, but I trusted it in the hospital. So like, somebody has to help me clean this up. Like, it's not something I can do because I just had a surgery. So like, now I'm stuck calling someone to please help me clean my poopies up. And it felt so degrading. And the nurse comes and she was like, what happened? Like, are you okay? And I was like, crying. And she was like, do you need pain medicine? What's wrong? And I was like, I pooped my pants. And then she was like, you made your first bowel movement. And I was like, bitch, you have to help me clean up. She was like, all that matters is that you went.
They honestly though, they probably were really happy because of what you went through. They were probably like, let's hope that like everything goes back to normal. And the fact that like you did, they were just like, they probably were like, oh my God, yes. Because like you said, they were supposed to just go in with little cameras, do a little look around, little look, see, hi, what's we got in here? And instead had a massive, severe surgery. The nurses were probably like, oh, when you woke up, they were probably doing the same thing. Oh my God, she woke up. Like, and then the next one, like, yes, oh my God, first bowel movement,
that is
yay.
true, because so my blood pressure in one of the procedures dropped down drastically. So my blood pressure is usually low. It's usually 107/70, but this time it dropped down to 80/40. So it dropped down low.
Yeah,
I
it
mean
was wild,
low.
low.
Like, so since it dropped down so low, I had to spend like, I think 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks on the fucking cardiac wing. So I was on the second floor of Lehigh Valley, whatever. So I was on the cardiac wing, because they had to keep and monitor me, because they were like, bitch.
Right.
And what's crazy is, while they were doing the procedure, it felt like I was lucid, because I could hear them talking and I could hear everything and I could feel the pressure, but I couldn't feel anything. Like, I couldn't feel any pain. I couldn't say anything. I couldn't do anything, but I could hear and I could feel the pressure.
Well, remember, redheads are a little bit more resistant to that kind of stuff. And on top of the fact that gardening makes that also have a higher tolerance. Depending on how much they were aware of, how much they may have gotten to acid, they might not have actually used enough anesthesia.
Well, I am very honest with all of my doctors. So all of my doctors do know about my gardening habits. So they are well aware. Like all of my doctors have been well aware.
Medical cards actually have been a great help, because I actually I use my medical card for like actual medicine. Like when I go to my dispensary and I have something going on, I'd be like, listen, this is what I got going on right now. I need a recommendation specifically for that. Like I need this to be treated. So my main issue, and this is one of the things that I really do want to go to a doctor for and have them look at, because I've spoken to other people who have the same issue, is this gallbladder issue that I seem to be dealing with. So, and I know that every time I've said it to you, you're like, that sounds like the gallbladder issue. And I'm like, no, no, no. And then I'm talking to my other friends, and they're like, no, that sounds exactly like a gallbladder issue. I had to have mine removed. Don't get it removed. And I'm just like, oh, okay. And they're like, yeah, getting it removed, and you won't be able to eat anything. Like drinking is completely out the window. Like you'll be so much more limited. It's almost like I don't know anybody who's actually gotten their gallbladder removed who is living a better life. Like they're all more miserable. So I'm like, I think I would rather deal with the flare-ups that I go through. So like this is the first time it happened. I didn't know what it was. I woke up and I went to go use the bathroom, and because I already have IBS and like stomach issues due to like whatever it is, I'm already kind of used to not being like regular. And I know this might be a little bit TMI, but we're talking chronic illnesses, and these are chronic illnesses.
I mean, I just said I shit my pants.
People deal with, and you're right, and people deal with this type of shit all throughout the world, like literally, like people have stomach issues and digestive issues all over. So I went to use bathroom, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, something's wrong. And then I just started getting really like nauseated and like dizzy, and I was like, something's really wrong, right? And then the sweats. And then I'm sweating. And I'm talking like bullets are just dripping off me, and I'm like, oh my God. And then I'm puking. And then and then my stomach feels like it's just being like twisted. Like something's trying to, and it's just like, it's not working. And I'm like, oh my God. Laying on the floor, laying on the cold tile, literally to cool down because I'm sweating, until it finally just 3 hours. I'll be going through this on the floor until finally it passes. And then I'm so weak because now I'm just nauseated. So I'm not eating. I try to maybe eat some like toast. I may try to eat like a buttered roll, something with like bread, and that's not just solid. So I can get it in my stomach and just have some. And usually I try to even just go for crackers, because I'm like, at least with crackers, it's just dry and it'll absorb. I won't eat shit. And then that whole day, I'm just trying to rest and recharge, right? Well, one of the times I was having a flare up, I was like, you know what? I'm going to take my smoking stuff with me. And I took my shit with me, and I was able to have that flare up under control within an hour. So now I've noticed, like, when I feel it kind of coming, and I'll feel it because like I'll start to get like heavy. Like my stomach will start to feel heavy, and I'll start to get uncomfortable, and I'll start to get hot. And then I'm like, oh, it feels like a flare up's coming. And I'll start hitting the bowl. And I'll go to the bathroom, and I'll like try to use the bathroom. And because I'm hitting the bowl, I'll go to the bathroom, and then it'll pass. And I'm like, okay, we're good. We're good. Like, I don't gotta die for several hours. Like, and it usually happens like when I wake up. I've actually tracked certain foods that have triggered it, because if I eat them that day and that's like all I eat that day, and I have a flare up, like it's like, oh, this got to get crossed off the menu because you're literally triggering a flare up. But usually it ends up being something that's greasy, which is crazy that pizza has never triggered a flare up for me.
Right. My gallbladder is completely full of stones. So if I keep having flare ups, I'll have no choice but to get it removed.
Yeah, I gotta get the status of mine checked like fully.
So like so what am I supposed to eat?
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like my diet is already so limited because of things that cause like bloating and stomach issues and flare-ups, that like, what exactly am I supposed to do? And I already take vitamins. Like, how many more vitamins am I supposed to be taking? Like,
So, diverticulosis is lotius.
supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
So, diverticulosis is bullshit. It is a disease where in your sigmoid colon, which is your butthole. No, I'm just kidding. It's part of your butthole though. But your sigmoid colon gets pockets in it. And because you have these little pockets, sometimes bacteria or extra poop or seeds or some shit will get stuck into those pockets and create an infection. And then you are in debilitating pain. So, like when I've gone through flare ups, that's what lands me in the hospital more than my Crohn's disease. I had a doctor once tell me that I didn't have Crohn's disease, which is crazy because five other hospitals, not even five other doctors, five other hospitals confirmed my Crohn's disease. I've had over 10 fucking colonoscopies. All of them said that I have Crohn's disease, but this one doctor in Florida is like, you don't have it because if you had it, you would be on medication because if you weren't on medication, you'd be dead by now. So I was like,
Which gardening is actually one of the things that helps with it, which you do. So,
well, it hasn't helped. I mean, it has helped. I'm sorry. I'm lying. Hold on. I'm saying the medicine that they would have given me wouldn't have helped anyway, but gardening has helped. When I garden in the mornings, it helps me not have to go to the bathroom. I do it before I eat. Well, except at work. I don't do it at work because that's not good. But I do it when I get home before I eat dinner. So then I'm like starving. I'm like, oh, good, I'm hungry. Because during the day, like if I don't garden, since I don't do it during work, sometimes lunch is really hard for me to eat. Ever since Crohn's disease, I have like this weird food avoidant thing where I'm just like, I can't eat certain things, even though I know it's okay. I'll be starving.
it's literally the fear of something wrong being in something that you know is safe, like a piece of corn or a piece of seed, and now you're stuck in the hospital.
Well, it's not even that. It's more or less like I'm starving. I'm starving. I want this. I want this. And then once I have it in front of my face, I'm like, I'm going to vomit if I eat this.
Yeah, no, I know. I know that we've had to be very careful when we got you food. Like I know when we were in Puerto Rico, and we ordered like the food that had at what was that, Church's Chicken,
Mm-hmm.
and we ordered the one bowl that we were like, hey, make sure there's no corn in it, and then they were good with not having any corn in it. But not to mention the fact that we also we were in Puerto Rico for like a week each time, right?
I think the first one was 8 days. I think we spent 8 days the first time and 7 days the second time.
Right.
Well,
And all those times you had no incidents with anything that you ate. We were able to go on
but
long
my thing
drives.
is that it's not even that I'm afraid of the food. It's more of a psychological thing where I'm just like, I'm starving, I'm starving, I'm starving. I want this. I want this. This is good. This is good. And then as soon as I get it, I'm like, I will throw up. Like, this is disgusting. Like, get this out of my face. And I don't know why I'm like that because I'll be starving. Like, sometimes I'll get Dunkin' Donuts. Like, Dunkin' Donuts has sometimes they'll have like a $5 thing where it'll be like a wake up wrap, fucking hash browns, and a medium coffee. That's perfect for $5. And then I won't eat the fucking wake up wrap. And I know I love bacon wake up wraps. They're delicious. I love them. I think they're great. And sometimes I'll literally I just won't eat it because I feel like I'm going to throw up if I eat it. But then when I actually force myself to eat it, because sometimes I get so hungry that like I start to shake and I'm like, no, now you have to eat because now you're shaking.
Because now you're running on E.
Right. So then I force myself, I'll put it in the toaster oven at my old job, but I would put it in the toaster oven and then reheat it up and then eat it. And it'd be delicious. And I'd be like, this would taste even better, not reheated. This would taste even more fantastic, fresh. So why don't I eat it fresh?
I get
I
that
don't
same
fucking know.
feeling if I try to eat without gardening.
That's probably what my
If I
problem
try to eat
is.
without gardening, it doesn't matter if I even like it. Even my buffalo chicken bites is like my safe food from Wawa. If I get those too far after a garden session, I literally will even struggle to eat those. I'll take the first bite and then chewing it in the texture and everything like that, and I'm sitting there like, I love this. Why is it making me nauseated to eat it?
Right.
This is literally
And
my
it's
my
not
safe
like,
food.
so I gardened. Obviously, I like the benefits of all around gardening. I like the whole entire benefit, but it also benefits more than just getting me high. It benefits so much more than just,
That's like the bottom of the list of
that's like
priority
the
for what it does.
exactly. Like exactly. Like I don't have to use the bathroom, which is crazy because if I have to use the bathroom, then I will use the bathroom. So it does a little overcook,
It
undercook.
makes
Straight
your
to
body
jail.
work the way it's supposed, like what it would supposed
Right.
to be.
Right. So if I have to go to the bathroom, instead of making me feel like I'll be like, oh, I have to go to the bathroom, but it's not, I can't go. Like sometimes I just can't go, but I'll feel it, but I just can't go.
I get that too
So
sometimes.
I'll smoke, and then I'll be like, okay. And then I'll try to go again. And then I'm like, okay, I feel so much better now. Or if I'm going a lot in the mornings, especially in the mornings, like if I'm going a lot and my stomach doesn't feel good, I'll garden, I mean, and it's like I don't have to go to the bathroom anymore. I'm completely and utterly fine. It's like it's crazy how much it works. And then I've seen a coworker on the medicine that I was supposed to be on, and every 3
Yes.
months he would have to get it. Every 3 months he would get it infused into his blood. And if he did not have that medication, he would be in the hospital for weeks at a time. He would be in the hospital because he became dependent on that medicine. I haven't taken any type of Crohn's disease
Which is now
medicine since
crazy
I was
because, and
diagnosed.
I'm sure like insurance can probably cover that. But now imagine if you didn't have the funds to even get a little bit covered. Meanwhile, like you could just get like $20 real quick from somebody, and you can just go get our regular gardening medication and actually guaranteed be good.
Right. Because the dispensaries always have sales.
Always. They really always have sales. And this everything that they have, if you talk to them about what you need, like they work. And if you tell them, like, because I was telling them like edibles for me doesn't work, so I really stay away from edibles. And they were like, for my problems, edibles would help more. But when I described the effect that I get really from them, they were like that I actually might not have the proper enzyme in my liver to process it the right way. And that's why edibles, no matter how much I take compared to other people, it's very, very rare that I actually really feel anything from it.
Right. Oh, see,
So yeah, I just
I,
use my flour.
right. Just feel like they just make me want to go to sleep. Like I just don't enjoy them. They just make me feel like I just want to go to sleep.
Well, that's because if we don't get them the right strain, then yeah, the ones that make the body feel fully relaxed, those ones will put you in such a state of relaxation that then it's just like when I went to California for the wedding, I got ones to help with the body relaxing because I wanted whoever we were trying them the night before, and I wanted whoever was trying them to sleep well as well. And
That's
then
nice.
also because of some of the chronic pains that she goes through, I wanted her to try it and see if it would actually help her with those things. She said it was great. I was like, I think you should look into them, especially because you're in New York. So,
Right, right.
like, I was like, I think you should look into them. Um, yeah, I was like, you didn't have like no nightmares, you didn't like wake up struggling with anything, and she was like, no, I slept so peaceful, like my back didn't hurt and stuff, and that was actually the main thing that got me into it first. I mean, granted, my friends that were doing it were just doing it to get high, but when I was talking about my pains that I was feeling in like my back and my legs and stuff, especially my knee, they were like, "Oh, well, why don't you try this?" And I was like, "Okay, well, like whatever, right?" And after just a few hits, like my body felt relaxed, like my back wasn't like spasming, my mind felt even a little quieter. I was like, "Oh, what is this?
What is this?
I like this." And then that's when I started like learning about it and getting into it and like obviously partaking more. And then with all the research, because like I'm not someone that just like sees something online and is like, oh my god, that's like gospel, I'm gonna fucking like run with it like it's the truth. Like for like stupid dumb minor bullshit, yeah, I could be guilty of that, because if it's like some like tabloid bullshit, I may not care enough to look into it. But when it comes to health and like real information, I'm gonna do research. So when I hear other people going through something that like is reminiscent of what I'm going through, and I deal with imposter syndrome a lot. So even if I Google something and they're like, these are the symptoms, and I match every single symptom, I'm still like, no, because the doctor didn't tell me. But I also
Right.
have
That
been,
is how I feel.
but I've also been aware of the fact that there have been times where doctors have been wrong. There's
I
even been
mean,
friends of mine that have gone through shit where the doctor misdiagnosed them, and then they finally started doing the research themselves, went to a doctor and asked for a specific test, and then finally got their diagnosis. That's
I
insane
mean,
to me.
I went to St. Luke's before me and Voldemort went to Atlantic City. I had gone to St. Luke's because when I was at Shawnee, I could not sit down. Like I said, I could not sit down and I felt horrible. So one of my coworkers was like, "Bitch, I'll drive you to the hospital." So she drove me to St. Luke's and St. Luke's was like, "Just take Miralax. I'll give you a prescription for Miralax. Like just take Miralax
You
and
don't
then
want to
that
test
should
me? You don't
help."
want to check me out at all?
They did not check me out at all. They literally discharged me. I was literally there for like maybe an hour. I don't even think I got a room. Like
You
I
know
think
what
I
though?
was in
That's
a
because
bed in the hallway.
that's for yeah. You know because when I went to them for like to drain this thing the second time, they were like trying to give me a hard time about it, and I was like, Pocono Medical Center did it. So like, do you want me to just go there? And that's when they were like, no, 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 we can do it. And I was like, yeah. And actually, I should have just went to Pocono Medical because they actually scarred it worse. To where then when my beard grows in, I have to like maintain that to make sure it doesn't get stuck again.
Oh shit.
So, but like
Yeah, so
it's just like ever since I started gardening, I'm a heavy gardener. I garden all day long. I don't give a shit, and everybody needs to know it. I garden because that helps me. It helps my mind focus. It helps my mind be quiet. It helps my body feel normal. It just makes me feel normal. And that's why when I would do research about shit, I'll still sit there and be like, imposter syndrome, because I've not been able to go to a real doctor and be like, hey, these things. But I've done research. I've listened to doctors talk about these things. I've gone on peer reviewed medical websites that talk about the things, not just Google AI or Wikipedia of like, hey, what's a stomach issue? And they're like, all these crazy things, you have cancer. No, I've read actual medical documents. I've talked to other people who have these diagnoses, and they've told me themselves, like, that it does sound very much like it. Like, I can't think of anything else that would be similar. Like, I know there's something wrong with my stomach. It's that simple. Like, a normal stomach, I wouldn't be having the issues that I'm having.
right. Get a colonoscopy. That's the best way to figure it out.
Yes, that's exactly one of the first things that I do want to get. When I have insurance, because
Yo, the shit. Oh god, the preparation for that is
I know
absolutely
my parents. I've had my
awful.
parents when
It's
they've
so
gotten theirs.
awful.
Because the thing is, like, my mom also has a lot of stomach issues. But because of some of the stuff that I've done research on that I find out is hereditary, it makes sense why I literally go through the exact same issues that my parents go through. With both the neurodivergence and the physical ailments.
Right.
See, because like with yours though, like yours causes offshoots. Like your Crohn's disease causes you to even develop arthritis.
I have arthritis in my shoulder and it goes all the way down and I feel it. Oh, sometimes my fucking elbows just be like so sore and it goes all the way down into my hand and I just got to do this the whole time cuz it hurts so fucking bad. And I don't even know why. Thankfully it doesn't hurt right now, so I'm good. But yeah, that shit sometimes gets so bad
It's
and
so crazy
sometimes I
because
feel
yours
like it
has the
locks up.
stiffness. I was say yours has stiffness that causes you to lock up, whereas
Mhm.
my hypermobility, which this I know I have because other people with hypermobility, like one of my friends that has like that's diagnosed with them, they're like, yeah, you like that's what that is. Like it causes my shit to feel like it's too stretched. So like it'll feel like if like my arms are just hanging down, it literally feels eventually like they're like elastic, like in the
Oh
joints,
no, I don't
and
do
it
that.
feels like it's pulling a little bit. So that's why, like, I'll sit there with like my arms crossed, or like I lean like this a lot and keep everything up because my arms literally just feel like they're hanging out. Literally, I sit like this. I sit like this when I'm catching myself like watching a show and I get like all comfortable in the chair and I'm like sitting there like I look down. I'm like, why am I sitting like this?
Looking
Because
straight
my
like that fucking alien meme.
because literally like my joints hurt, but not in like I said, not like in a stiff way. But there are times where I have to like crack my elbow because it'll feel like it moved the wrong way.
Ugh.
Like, so, and it's so hard to describe how the feeling is. It literally will feel like there's like a bubble there. So like and then it'll actually like crack. And then sometimes I have to like literally be like, yeah, to like literally make them like crack because it's like the force of pulling it will like realign it. Like, yeah, like my fingers going all the way back and like things like that, like all that. Like, you're not supposed to really be able to go all the way back like that. And the elbows overextending, your knees, like when I overextend with my knees, like I literally like sometimes like I don't know if you'll be able to see it with the pants. But, like the way it like goes back. Like when I stand, like I lock into place like this when I stand, if you can see. So like the way the knee kind of like backwards crescent, that's me standing straight. Whereas like a regular knee is supposed to be like that. Mine goes back like that.
I feel you, dog.
And I can feel it stretch when I do it. And when I stand, I have to like lock my knees into place fully. Like it's like almost like a not like there's like a physical mechanism there, but like like when you extend something and lock it with like a into place with like the angle locks like with like the chairs, like how like that kind of thing. Because then when I like put my knees straight, I actually have to like put effort into standing.
That sucks.
So yeah, no, it's bad. I feel like when I'm older, I'll probably like I already sometimes have needed a cane to walk. I feel like when I'm like older, like elderly, I definitely will need a wheelchair.
Okay, so obesity. I used to be, well, I'm not skinny now, as you can tell. I have some knockers. They've been in this frame the whole time. Sorry about that, Jesus. It's not my fault you made me this way. But anyway, I used to be a biggins. Um, and I feel like during that time, it really affected my confidence. And I know obesity isn't a medical issue, but my obesity stemmed
It's
from
no,
my
I was
medical
gonna say
issue.
depending on where it comes from, like hypothyroidism, PCOS,
Yes.
diabetes, like there are things that can actually cause obesity. You can
Right, but
drink and
not
eat
everyone
nothing.
who is obese has an
Yes,
actual reason.
yes.
But
Some just eat
also, not
something.
all people who are obese don't have a like they do have a reason. It goes both ways. So I didn't know I had a reason. So when I got big and I blew up, it really, really affected my mental health. I was really depressed. I hated trying on clothes. I hated buying clothes. I worked at Forever 21, so I was working at a clothing store, and I would literally just I didn't want to try on anything. But this was before Forever 21 had a plus size. Like the last year I worked there, they got a plus size section.
Right.
So I didn't fit in any of their clothes. So like it just made me feel bad. Like, and when I first started working there, I did fit in the clothes. And then I just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I couldn't understand, like, why am I getting so big? Like, what is happening? Why am I getting so big? And turns out that it was the Crohn's disease. But yeah, it affected my mental health. It affected my confidence. I wasn't
Well, because
like,
Crohn's disease obviously affects the nutrients that are being absorbed into your body, right?
right, right. So like I'm very malnourished, extremely malnourished. Like uh I really have to get protein in my diet really badly. And I try protein stuff is disgusting. I really try really hard, but sometimes it is really hard and sometimes it's just really hard to eat. Like I said
Well, and
earlier, like
also some of the
sometimes
other things that are like that they recommend sometimes for protein goes directly against your diverticulosis. Like I don't
Not for
like
protein,
when.
fiber. Fiber would go directly against.
Well, even some of
Well,
those,
high fiber is
even
good.
some of those protein bars that have like the nuts and fruits in them.
Well, those, yeah.
Those, that's what I'm saying. Like
So
something like
like
that, like that would hurt. That would hurt you.
I have to have, oh, I can't remember if it's insoluble fiber or soluble fiber. I believe I have to have insoluble fiber. Hmm, I can't remember, but it's one of the
It's one or
fibers
the
that,
other.
right, that I'm allowed, like stalagmite and stalactite.
Yeah,
One of those bitches, okay? It's one of them.
they both are in caves. They're both made of rocks. They both are sharp. Okay, one just goes in the ceiling. One goes on the floor. That's it. That's the only difference.
Exactly.
Don't
But
confuse me.
yes, don't confuse me. Have to have high fiber stuff, but because bro, I'm just so
No,
sick,
but
bro.
I understand how exhausting it is to have to be constantly watching your diet and everything you eat, and I don't even have to do it as extensively as you do, and it's
Bro,
exhausting for me.
at
Like,
this point, like when I used to work at my old job, I worked next to a Thai place, a Thai company, a Thai
a
restaurant.
tire company.
And they had the best ginger chicken I've ever had in my whole life.
Ginger's
And
good for the stomach.
that was my comfort food. And it had vegetables, it had chicken, it had rice, it had sauce. And I felt really great eating that.
Well,
Like
yeah,
it
that definitely
always made
sounds
me
like it
feel
had
great.
all the important things that you need too.
Right. And it's only $11 and it's a lunch special. And if I eat in, then I get
Girl,
two
see if you
spring
can make
rolls.
that. Get a recipe and see if you can make it yourself.
Well, I did buy recently, well, sometimes I just buy the ginger sauce from them and it's like $2, $3. So I just literally just buy the ginger sauce and then I make the stuff at home. I just use the stir fry.
Yeah.
Remember I did that at your house. I bought the garlic sauce from the
Yes.
Chinese spot and then I just did the stir fry. I don't know
So
why I make these faces. I
it-
have to stop.
it's stimming. It's okay. Um.
Oh God.
So this topic, and that's why I saved it for the last bit because it's also going to be talked about in the next episode because it does work with both episodes, and that is spoon theory. When I learned about spoon theory, that was like I've explained it to a lot of people, and it's actually clarified a lot of shit with people who deal with chronic illnesses of any kind and mental health issues of any kind. So basically, and you can look at it as like energy points, action points, mana points, however your brain has to like translate it for it to be able to be understood. Imagine you are given 12 spoons for your day. They're handed to you on Monday. Um, this is like your energy that you can allot to tasks. Waking up is already a spoon. Getting out of bed is a spoon. Preparing breakfast can, depending on the complexity, could be anywhere from 1 to 2 to even 3 spoons. Eating the breakfast is 2 spoons. Getting ready for work could be 2 to 3 spoons, depending on how much. And if you've been keeping track, I'm pretty sure we're already almost out of spoons, and we haven't even left the house yet.
Yeah, that's a lot of. I
That's
feel
the
like
when you look at the guide, and now next time for the next episode, I'm actually gonna have it in the background when I break it down. That
I
blew
feel
my
like
mind.
each task should just be one
It's
spoon. Like
not. It's not
get
though.
ready
That's
for work,
why.
one spoon.
But it's not. It's not. It should be. This is actually the severity of the complexity of the task takes this much energy, and that is why for people who are disabled, the fact that they're able to get out of the house and go do the things that they need to do takes a tremendous amount of energy. 1 spoon is literally a task that shouldn't take energy at all. Waking up doesn't take energy. For a disabled,
mean,
chronically ill person, waking up alone takes energy. That's not for a normal person. They can just wake up and get out of bed and start getting dressed and get ready. And it's not, they don't need an allotment of points.
yo, when I wake up, I literally feel like death.
It's a struggle. It's actually a struggle to wake up and get out of bed.
Bitch, this morning at 5 o'clock in the morning, I was literally cursing everyone. I was cursing.
Well, you only had 4 hours of sleep, so.
So I felt like I was straight I don't even understand, bro. This morning was not a good morning. And
Yeah,
then
no,
Nora
it's
was like, we're gonna parkour.
you deal with chronic illnesses. You have diagnosed mental health issues like PTSD and ADHD. Obviously depression, and when you talk to your therapist, bring up some things, try to see if they can like talk to the ones that can actually diagnose you with shit, not just do AMDR shit. Um,
Yeah,
like
I'm not doing that this time.
you have, like I said, you have physical and mental chronic illnesses. Your spoons that you're expending are way more than the average person will. And the
And then I'm
worst
going to
part
school
about
and
it,
I gotta work.
and I was just saying, that's why I said I didn't even get to leaving the house yet. And you could already be out of spoons. Now you have to borrow spoons from the next day. And then you're
I'm
borrowing spoons from the next day.
infinitely borrowing spoons for the
And
rest of my life.
because they never recharge, because we don't have a society that allows us to take care of ourselves, to not burn out, not work ourselves to death, not get sick and be punished for it. We don't have that. So we have to keep going. So now imagine the regular spoons that you're wasting when you're healthy for a chronically ill person. Now imagine you're doing all of this again while sick.
Yeah,
Every spoon you're wasting healthily is double when you're sick. Is
right.
double when you're going through a flare up. Something that takes 3 spoons is taking you 6 spoons. That's half your energy for the day. That was allotted. And when I read it,
Yo, going to the
it
gas
was the
station
same thing
today
like
was
you
half
said.
my fucking energy.
It was the same thing like you said. I was reading it and I was like, this doesn't sound right. I was like, 12 spoons. I was like, and all these tasks take spoon. You haven't even left the house yet and you're already out of energy. Yeah, that's how serious it is. We need to take care of our disabled. We need to take care of our chronically ill. We cannot be forcing them to be products of productions in a machine.
Right.
It's killing them. It's killing anybody. And even still, that's where my imposter syndrome comes in because I know I've got shit wrong with me. And I'm still not going to sit there and say I'm in the same boat as the people that actually know what the fuck is going on with their bodies. But I still want to make the world better for everybody because I don't understand why we have to work ourselves to death.
No, for real. Because I can't even afford life, no matter what I'm working. I went to the gas station. Gas is $4.
$4, $3.99. I just drove by.
I could not believe my marbles.
I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And it's very hard for disabled people who can't leave their homes. So if you can't leave your home, that means that you probably struggle with day-to-day tasks like bathing yourself, feeding yourself, cleaning, dressing yourself. Those are struggles that we take for granted being able to do. Like I get dressed and I'm just like, yeah, I just throw on whatever. And that's why like I would like to be able to like care more about like my clothing appearance and have like nice clothes. But it takes so much energy to get dressed and figure out what to wear and just put it on especially on days that I don't feel good. Days that I've got a lot of pain, I just want to throw on PJs and just lay around. I don't give a fuck. But for jobs that I got to wear a uniform, I have to actually get up and get dressed and be presentable. That takes now spoons. And now I got to go deal with people. And now every time you deal with a person, that could be anywhere from 1 to 3 spoons. That varies because you could just be hi, how you doing? And that's a spoon versus, hi, I need you to tell me about the reports that I asked you to fill out the other day. There's 3+ spoons. So
I can't even tell you how many fucking spoons my old job took from me.
Gone. Because you wouldn't even, you would also then be working without even getting to have at least a half-hour break to eat lunch and kind of like reset yourself and unwind and kind of maybe gain like a spoon back somehow. And that's the other part. We don't recharge spoons by just resting in the average sense. Going to sleep doesn't recharge anything for people like us. We recharge spoons by doing things that hit our dopamine. Our hobbies, our things that that bring us comfort, like watching our comfort shows.
It makes me a little sad though, because like I feel like when I'm in these moments, like with school especially, I'm like, I don't ever have time for my hobbies. And then when I do have time for my hobbies, it's like a chore because I have to set that time. I only have this specific time that I'm allowed to have this hobby, or I can't have it. And it's just like, it's bothering me. It's bothering me that I feel like I'm so all over the place with my schedule that I don't feel like I have any time to do anything.
And now think about that. You working takes spoons, doing school takes spoons. And then the regular things of your life take spoons. And you're doing all of that chronically ill at the same time. So you get burnt out.
Right.
You get sick. Your body crashes. And then you're forced to power through that, burning yourself out further.
Right.
And that's why we as a people need to come together as community and learn and take care of each other and realize that not every single human being gains value by producing something. We're human beings, not human doings. So obviously there are people who are going to who do this stuff. Like there are bakers who love
It
baking
was
and just
just the way
doing it
you said it so nonchalant. We are human beings, not human doing.
because we are human beings. We are to just be. We are to enjoy life. I want to frolic in the fucking woods and eat berries, not fucking serve
Berries and cream.
customers. Like,
No.
because there's a lot of these things that, like, one, if we allowed artists to make art, they would produce a lot of the things that we have issues with. There are people that actually find joy in cooking. Allow them to cook.
I find joy in cooking and baking when I'm feeding other people. When I'm feeding myself, I'm like, why do I have to do this?
And what, you think that there are hundreds of thousands of other people that love doing that? They are the people that will provide for us. Make sure they have the ingredients. They cook. And then make sure they're taking, and then we, as the rest of the community that they're cooking for, make sure that they're taken care of. Their children are taken care of. Their houses are taken care of.
If all I had to do was
I don't find
cook,
joy in
if
cleaning.
all I had to do was cook, I would cook.
I don't find
all I
joy
had
in
to do.
cleaning, but I find joy in helping somebody. So if all the people that were cleaning, that were cooking my breakfast, lunch, and dinner and cooking for the community, I'm gathering people to be like, hey, we got to make sure that their houses get clean and taken care of.
Right.
Because they're not going to have the time to do that. They're cooking for us.
We don't have a sense of community anymore.
No,
though.
and that's the problem. And I love it, though, when I look into the small pockets that I see, and this is relevant to this all the next few episodes, all 3 past episodes, this is relevant too. When I look and I see communities popping up in different areas of people coming together, and I'm like, I know that if we get the right chain going and the right networking, everybody, all the people that are helping around the world can be helping and connected, and then we can help the world. Because if you're helping in Canada and you're helping on the West Coast and you're helping in the South and you're helping in the Midwest and someone's helping on the East Coast, someone needs to connect them all together.
Right.
So all the resources can be pooled and we can do more and help more people. Because I want to be a part of that. I want to help people. I just have to, I'm so focused on taking care of myself right now because of the way I'm drowning because of society pressure that I don't have the resources to even help myself, let alone start helping other people. So that's why it's so important for me to try to like learn everything I can about like health and community and networking and why I'm trying to do what I do and talk about real issues that people can relate to, because I want everybody to understand out there that there are people out there that relate to you and understand you and want to help make the world a better place.
Right. And if any of you Bud-ettes have any chronic illness and you want to add it into the comments and talk about your little things. And if you guys ever have any questions for us, any Q&As, we could do a Q&A episode. If you have any questions that you're interested in learning about us, any questions?
Absolutely. I would love to read comments. If you have comments that you want to have like addressed in episodes, like line them up. If we get enough comments, we'll either make it an episode where we go over comments, or we'll like add them in at the end of like an episode. Like, hey, so here for this segment, we're gonna, address a comment that one of our fans wrote. Or one of our haters. Either one, we'll address it. We'll talk shit back to you if you try to talk shit to us. What are you thinking? Like we won't clap back. So, but yeah, we want our fans to feel like they're part of a community. You are our Bud-ettes, and we don't want you to feel like we're unreachable. We want you to actually, like, if you communicate with us, we're gonna communicate back, and we're gonna make sure that things get addressed and stuff. So, yeah.
Correctamundo. Well, this has
So,
been an excellent episode about chronic illnesses and what we have going on in our life. Not just chronic illnesses, but what the ones that we have experience with, the ones that we have firsthand experience with. But like I said, if anybody has their own experience, it would be nice to know. All right, beautiful Bud-ettes. I was going to call you batches, but Bud-ettes.
right, our beautiful Bud-ettes. Until next time, make sure you like, follow, share, subscribe, all that good shit. This is
And do you
Blazing
like my new
Dragon.
setup? Do you like my new setup? Look how cute it is. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I even have a little calendar and little desk plants and my little Rock Lee. All right. Goodbye.
Bye bye, Bud-ettes. Till next time.